ahead and do the tour today to show you how the garden is progressing, what's growing, what's not growing, and then what we're going to do about all of that. So we'll start first with the green stalk towers here. Again, we do have two of those. Have one right there as well. And so what we have is we'll start at the bottom. So what I did last week when I showed you the green stalks, we had not planted anything in the bottom. So this week we started planting the 7-top turnips in the bottom of these that you can see there. And they are coming along fine. And then in the second part of this row, we have the rutabaga in here. And that's in every other pot. And then we have a nasturtium here. This is in the next row. And then we have arugula in the other pot. So in some of these, we don't have any germination yet, but it's slowly coming in here and there. And then we have spinach in this one, if you can see it. And that's looking very good. And then in this one, you can see a little germination here. And that is the beets that we have. It's the 5-color beets, and we have some germination coming in here, and then it looks like a seed way back in there. If you can see that, that's coming in. And then up top, we have our onions coming in. You can see that. And they are at various stages with their growth factors, and they're coming in very well. Okay, so that's that particular green stalk, and it's looking good so far. And over to this one, and it's identical to the one that I just showed you, and we're just showing you how it's growing and how everything in it is thriving and surviving. Okay, have no germination yet in that one. So I will probably have to come back in and reseed. I don't know, going up to the next level. The arugula is coming in very good. The radishes are just now peeping up here. Arugula, radish, arugula, nothing there. So again, we will come back in and we will probably have to reseed some of this. And then in this area, the spinach, we have a little germination here, and I think that's the 5-color beets just coming in. And then the top level, our onions. And I thought I put straw in this area. I guess it either blew out or I didn't. I missed some areas, but I will have to come back in and put some straw to seal that in. But it's looking good. Okay, so those are our green stalks. They are doing well. While we're at the green stalk, something that I wanted to show you is to look down there in that area. If you can see it, there is one seedling that's coming up down there. So that's one of the drawbacks that I'm having with my green stalks, is that sometimes the seeds will go down, and I don't know whether that's something that I'm doing or not, but I will have to take off this level in order to get that seedling and bring it back up here, as it did go down there. I don't want it to grow and clog up my water spouts there. So I will have to move that seedling. So that's one of the drawbacks that I'm having. Maybe I did not fill them up enough. I don't know. So if you have a green stalk and you're seeing this mistake, then tell me about it. Help me with that. Tell me what I'm doing wrong with that. Okay. And so moving on from the green stalks now, but as overall, I am happy with that. And I'm happy with the green stalks overall. I think that they're doing well with growing food here. And so moving on. It's always good to see friends in the garden. Can you see him, guys? Good deal. Then moving over to our comfrey, doing well, doing beautiful. And as you can see, this one is about to flower. And then we have our butter crunch lettuce in here that's doing well, and some romaine, and some of the tricolored lettuce that's coming in very well. And then look at our dahlia, guys. Very good. Our carrots are still coming along. I'm just waiting on the first frost to make them sweeter, and we'll be ready to harvest those out. The calendula is looking very pretty calendula. And then look at the dahlia, looking very nice, very pretty white dahlia. And then more blooms again are coming. And this area is where I normally grow the cucumbers. And so I did come by and just drop a few of the sugar sweet pea snap peas down there, and they are finally peeping up. So hopefully we will get some of those before the coldness comes on in. I don't know right off, but I do have some more dropped along the way here that I'm going to show you. Let me pan over there and show you that one. So in this area in here, I do have some that I did drop some weeks ago, and they're just now sprouting up. I did come in and put in the straw to insulate the moisture in. So we'll see what happens with those as well. And then, of course, you see the comfrey is still doing well. And let's move on with our garden tour. Our Georgia collards are doing really well. We did come in and trim them back and harvest some of those leaves off, and they're still coming along very well. I'm so proud of those. These are the other turnips that we planted out last week after we harvested the other ones out. They're still doing wonderful. They're coming along very well. There is one over here I'm kind of iffy about. That one, it's not taking off as I thought that it would, but it's still green, it's still alive, so hopefully it will go ahead and produce and come on out. And then we have those that's still looking good, they're still doing well. And back here, they're still peeping up. Then we still have our peppers that are still here. I thought that the cold snap would take them out, but they're still here. They're still thriving and surviving, I think. Let's look in here and see. Yeah, they probably kind of stunted them in growth, that coldness, but we'll see. We'll leave them here until they are just not doing anything else, and then we'll pull them all out and pull them all up. I don't see anything in, well, I see some here, and then we still have blooms in here. So they're still trying to produce peppers, guys. Still trying to produce peppers. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen with these bell peppers at least. And let's move along. This area, we still have greens that we harvested. As you can see, those snapped off parts, and they're still doing wonderful, still doing fine. We'll probably do some more harvesting as they continue to grow and thrive on out. And then we have the Anaheim peppers that are still doing their thing. Look at that, guys. They're still coming on here. We have shishitos that are hidden back here. They're still coming in. There are different colors. They need to be harvested out. And then this is a bell pepper plant. I think that it has reached its end. I don't see any bell peppers here. Well, I see some miniatures, but I think I'm going to pull this one up. And then back there, we still have some, looks like some cayennes that we need to pull out. So it's full of cayennes back there. And then up here, we have broccoli. Do we see any heads? Any heads coming? Let's look and see. Oh, wow. We do have one. Look at that one. Very pretty. So we do have broccoli coming in here. We have cauliflower and we have Brussels sprouts. A lot going on in this area. See that, guys? A lot. And I'm just going to walk through and show you. Some of it's laying down. I have come in and staked some of it up, as you can see right there, because it's growing out of control and it was laying down earlier. So I did come in and stake it up, and hopefully everything will take off and do well. I don't know what that is, but hey, it will reveal itself in time. I don't know what it is. I think it's not a cabbage. I don't know what that is. I think this one is a Brussels sprout. And moving on, that's a cabbage that's trying to head up right there. Both of those are cabbages just trying to head up. Look at that. Look at that one. Very pretty. So we have cabbages coming in. We have some more broccoli coming in there. We have Brussels sprouts back here and here. So we have a lot growing on that's still looking healthy. It's still coming along. Have blood pressure right there. And this is a Brussels sprout that they're eating up. So we won't win everything, but I'll let them have that one because I have so much more in here. So I'll let them have that one. And we're moving along. But our garden is looking very lush, very pretty. And pretty. And then we'll pan on over. We just started that rutabaga last week. Oh, I missed this row. These are our mustards that I was telling you about that we planted out last week. They are doing beautiful, very pretty color. And then our rutabaga, we planted out about the same time. And then our Alabama collards, guys. I just cannot wait on these to get really, really huge and see how they're going to develop out. But right now, they are looking pretty. See that? Looking pretty. I did come in and put in, that's not diatomaceous earth. It's another type of, I forgot what type of powder that is. I think it's called tiger stripe or something to keep those bugs from eating up our new starts here. But yeah, so it's coming along very well. I don't see any bug pressure on those right now. So I think that they're doing wonderful. And then let's move over to our melons and give you a report on those and see how those are progressing. Let's move over here. So this particular melon, this is the collective farm woman melon, and see how it's turning that yellow color, guys. It's supposed to be yellow all over, and we'll know that it is ready for harvesting, although I may just go ahead. Well, I'm looking at that stem. It's turning brown. I don't know. I may harvest it today. Not sure, because normally when I harvested the last ones, they were kind of sweet, not real sweet, but they were kind of sweet. And then we have another form of woman melon right there that's getting ready. See that one? It's not quite ready, but it's getting ready. Yeah, it's not as golden as the other one is. And then we have, I think this was a sugar baby watermelon. It's a very odd shape, but it's coming in on its own within its own terms. I'm going to allow it just to go ahead and do what it's going to do. And then look at that one, another one. And then as I'm looking, I'm seeing something over there, guys. And I'm going to walk over there while you're with me, and I'm going to see what's going on with these melons. That's another one right there. So see, we have melons everywhere, all over this particular little melon patch. See that one? But I think it's being eaten up or diseased or something. So I'm gonna leave it there though. But that one, it's cracking. It doesn't look healthy. Then we have this one. So see, our melons are everywhere, and those are the collective farmer watermelon. That's what they're called. And they are a cross between like a honeydew and a watermelon. So if you get a chance to try those out next year, do that. They have a very distinct flavor, but it's very good. Very good. I'm happy with that. Then we have another melon coming in here. And I'm thinking that these were sugar babies that I planted like later, and they're just now coming out. And so we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go around and try to capture the bigger two that we have in the garden as well. Hold on. We're coming up on the bigger two here. See this one? It's very big, but look, when I go to the tendril that's coming directly from it, it's still green, which tells me it's not ready. This is the same thing. Very heavy, going to the tendril because I need to get to the tendril that leads from there, which is that one. It's still green. So we're going to leave that one as well. But for the most part, we still have melons trying to come in, and we're going to just wait. We'll do a wait and see. I've never grown a watermelon in November. So this is just kind of exciting to me to be able to grow and produce watermelon in the month of November. I have gone up through October, but never November. So this is interesting. So this row right here, this whole row is taken up by, looks like, weeds and some overlapping melons that are dying out. So I'm going to come in today, clean this up, and we're going to replant out. We're going to plant out, not replant, but we're going to plant out some more starts from our seedling table after we get in here and clean it out. And we need to put some amendments in our grow holes, and then we'll come in and I'll show you what we're going to plant out today in those holes. So as you can see, this line in here, I just cleaned it out. I'm going to come back in and finish drilling it out, turning up the soil, adding the amendments, and then we'll be ready to plant out our seedlings in this row. And then over here, we'll have the rest of our melons that we're waiting on to get out of here so we can plant some more of our fall and winter starts over in this area. So stay tuned for this. Let me go ahead and do this, and then we'll come back on and show you what we have so far. We just put down our amendments. Now let's go and check out our seedling table. This row, we have some red mustards that we planted out, and I don't know if you can see that, but see that germination in there? We have a little something coming up here, and this is the butter crunch lettuce that we planted out again. These are our 5-colored beets. We have, looks like a little germination coming in there. And in here, let me show you this one. Let me see if I can angle you the right way. Here. This is called the red romaine lettuce. and we have a little germination there. This is our pixie baby cabbage in here. We have a little germination coming on here and here. And so my idea about this pixie baby cabbage is that once we get some things harvested out inside of our green stalks, then we will come in and put some of the pixie baby cabbage in there and see how that does. We also have some lettuce mix here, and we have a little germination going on in there. You can see those little specks coming up. This is another lettuce mix, and we have a little germination going on there, if you can see that. And then we have some oregano. We don't have, I don't think, well, we have something coming up here and there. See some little white specks there. So we have oregano. And then we have our bachelor's button that's ready to plant out. It's pretty much full, but that's bachelor's button. Looking very well. And then so let's slide this tray over and let's get out to what we would need to be planting out on that row that we just fertilized and cleared out today. So let's go through these rows and see what's best to plant out. So these are called twister cauliflowers in this area here, guys. They're growing up very well. I already have some cauliflower planted out. I don't know what I'm going to do, but there's a mixed feeling between whether I'm going to plant these out or whether I'm going to plant out those 7 top turnips, and I'll show you those in just a moment. These are some Brussels sprouts that was extra that I just planted out, and look, those two are coming along very well. So I'm happy about that. I think these are dahlias that I planted out, and they're just now sprouting and coming up. We're gonna see. We'll see. I'm going to up pot and see what happens, but it looks like something is coming up there. So I was waiting on that one to germinate before I went ahead and up potted those. But these twister cauliflowers, we'll wait and see. We'll decide, guys. And so let me push this one aside, and I'm going to grab this other one over here if I can reach it. Pull it towards us. And so look at all of this. I think this is all, no, this is some rutabaga here. But these are, this is a turnip. This is a turnip. I know that's a turnip. That's a turnip. So I think the turnips are on this row with the exception of this one. This is a mustard green. But this row here is all turnips. These are turnips because they're marked. Thanks to me, I marked those at least. But anyway, so sometimes I don't mark them as I should. So I get kind of mixed up with what I'm growing. So I know that this is a turnip. This is a turnip, 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 and turnip. So the rest of these are cauliflowers with the exception of this, which I don't know what it is, but it will tell us what it is as it matures and grows along. I think this mustard is pretty much gone, but I just left it there hoping for the best, but I think it's gone on to the upper room. I don't know. And it looks like something else is coming there. Can you see that? That may be a mustard. I'm going to leave it and see what happens. But these are all twister cauliflowers, I think. Yeah, they are. So I have 6 turnips that I feel pretty good about planting out. Those are rutabagas, and then I have the cauliflower. So I think I'm going to go ahead and plant out these turnips, and then we'll see what space we have left, and then we'll decide from there whatever we need to plant out. But the objective is to get everything planted out. And again, as I told you and I've showed you before, in the garden we still have those watermelons coming in that I was not making room for in my mind and in my planner, because I just thought that those melons would be off and gone by now. But here we are in November and we're still growing watermelons, which is wow to me. But however, we will wait on those melons to do whatever they're going to do, and then we'll be able to plan out the rest of this. And then I have this other set of seeds going and growing on that I showed you earlier. And most of these will either go into the grow box, the green stalk, or some grow bags, I'm thinking. So we'll see about all of that. But however, for right now, let's go on and plant out these turnips, and then we'll see where we are from there. If you'll look, I went ahead and I placed like a turnip beside each hole. So what I have left on this row would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vacancies on this row, plus 2 on the other row. So um either I'm going to go with the cauliflower or the rutabagas, right? So we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and fill these in, water them in good. You saw me put down the amendments with the garden tone. I did drill the holes already. I weeded it out, cleaned it out, put in the amendment. I'm going to come in probably with some alfalfa also to help it to grow along. And then we'll be ready to plant these on in. Hold on, let me grab that alfalfa mix. So we have our whole amended. We mixed in those amendments in that soil to give those nutrients to the soil in order to feed our plants here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. I don't like for it to break up like that, but it is what it is at this point. And I think that it'll be fine. At least I hope it will anyway. And I'm just going to mash it down, making sure that it has good contact with that soil. And that's one planted in. Let's move over to the other one and plant that one in. See if I can get you guys set up here. Okay, hopefully you're steady enough that I won't have you falling down. But I'm just going to mix in these amendments again in the soil. And again, I use garden tone and alfalfa meal. And these are called the purple top turnips. Sometimes this doesn't always work with pushing your hand in that hole. Can you see that, guys? Doesn't always work. But anyway, we're gonna get by with what we can today with planting these out, getting them in here so that they will be on their way. That's another one planted in, and we're ready to move along. Okay. This is another one, and I'm just going to keep going down this row. Just making sure I don't, because I feel something hard in here. See that? We're not going to use that at all. We're getting that out. And I think this is a better looking turnip to planting in. And I'm going to get that weed out. Okay. This one came out beautifully. I'm going to make sure it has contact with the soil. And I'm just going to push it in there and put my soil around there. That's another one planted in. So I think you get the idea of how I'm planting in. I'm just going to keep going on down the row, and then I'll come back and show you how we ended up. Okay, guys, if you can see down that row, I have planted in the purple top turnips. Instead of the 7-top turnips, we did purple top turnips, and we then came in with the extra spaces that was left, and we planted out some twister cauliflower. So I'm going to now come in, water in off camera, and that'll do it for today. Okay, so let's go through and see what we have up close. It's looking very good, right? So we have everything planted out, and you saw the amendments that I put in. Very healthy starts. So we'll see what happens with these starts. As always, I have enjoyed this episode at Jacquie's Garden Spot. And until the next episode, be well and be blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content from me. Bye, guys.